Appreciate your time today. I'm David Testerman with Broker Hunter, and I'll be the moderator for today's featured session. Today, we're going to have a virtual information session brought to you by Fidelity Investments, and we're going to be talking about opportunities in their Providence, Rhode Island branch location. Before I jump in and introduce our first speaker, I'm going to pass the floor over to Kat with Zoom, and she's going to talk to you about housekeeping items. Kat?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. As attendees, you have joined in with your microphones on mute and your cameras turned off. If you have any questions, feel free to enter them into the Q&A box located in the bar at the bottom of the Zoom viewer. If you have any technical support questions or any troubles with Zoom at all, please feel free to put them into the Q&A box as well, and I'd be more than happy to assist you throughout the session. We will have a poll today, so please feel free to interact with that, and I'll pass the event back over to David.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kat. We appreciate that. And as Kat just said, before we introduce our first speaker, I'm going to go ahead and launch the first poll. This will help us out to get an idea of who all's on the call today. So let me go ahead and launch that right now. And if you'll take a minute to fill this out, I'm going to leave this open for a minute or so. And while I leave the poll open, I'd like to introduce our first speaker today. It's Mr. Steve Parker. Steve, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us. Really excited to join you here from the Providence office. We've got a couple of different folks here that will be spending some time with you today. Myself, one of the other managers here in the office, Mike Esposito, is on the call, and then we've got a couple of folks from our Talent Champions office, Callie and Stephanie, who are with us, and then my boss, who leads the New England market, Dom Calamati, is on as well, and will be likely joining in. Just by way of an agenda today, if we could flip to the next slide, Callie, if you wouldn't mind. We've got a few slides to go through, but the real impact will be today is if we can turn this into a discussion at the end through a robust Q&A. The slides are designed to answer sort of some of the most frequently asked questions, but the real, I think, meat of the conversation will be if we get to have a Q&A at the end. So with any luck, that will work. A little bit about the agenda. We're going to go through who we are and what we do at Fidelity, talk a little bit about what it means to build and have a career at Fidelity, dig into even a little bit of the benefits in our compensation structure, and then hopefully with any luck, that will all lead to an answer of why Fidelity and why you should consider Fidelity for your personal career. Okay, folks, thank you. Let's go to the next slide if we could, Callie. So who is Fidelity? One back, if you don't mind. So who is Fidelity Investments? We're privately held and have been for our entire 70-year existence. We're in our third generation of ownership. We are constantly scanning the business landscape for trends that are offering trends for our offering. And the reason being private is so important is that really allows us to freely invest profits back into our business in a way that we see fit, as we don't have shareholders to worry about. Our commitment to growth and innovation allows us to focus on long-term opportunities versus short-term opportunities, and really allows us to be a leader in both technology and in the financial services space in general. Which actually leads to the next point. We are an industry leader in innovation. We're not only a financial services firm, and just a couple of things that are fairly common in our industry now, but you may not have known that Fidelity was the first at. We were the first to offer an income-oriented mutual fund, and we did that way back in 1947. We were the first to offer check writing on money markets, the first to allow retail sales through a telephone line. We were the first to offer a tax-exempt money market, the first to offer a credit card to retail clients. And so you might sit here and listen to all that and say, well, why does that matter to me? None of that is relevant to me as an advisor. But that technology spend and that innovation doesn't end with just the products and services for our clients. We actually invest in our associates as well. We'll talk a little bit about some of the investment we're making in folks in our Work From Anywhere initiative in just a minute. But I would look at this meeting as a perfect opportunity of where we are an industry leader in innovation. And in days gone by, we might have had this at 6 o'clock at night at a local hotel or ballroom, and we'd have a whole bunch of people there, and people would be taking time out of their personal and private lives, and instead we get to use technology and have a great session here right at the lunch hour. In addition to that, we've spent millions of dollars on our CRM. We use Salesforce, all designed to make you as an advisor as efficient and as effective as possible, all designed to make you successful, all designed to allow your clients to be successful in their endeavors. So the industry leader in innovation goes way beyond just our products and services and really extends into the lives of our associates as well. The third thing is our relentless commitment to clients. The clients are the center of everything we do. Now, there isn't a firm on earth in any industry that's not going to say that the client isn't the center of everything they do. We've taken it another level, though. We've spent millions of dollars to conduct research with our clients to find out exactly what they want and the way they want to do business with. And we have a moniker called our 5 client commitments. Everybody in the branch can recite them. They know exactly what they are. They know exactly where they came from. And we call it the playbook. It's the answer to the test. If you adhere to the 5 client commitments, you are almost guaranteed success because our clients told us what they want. And all we have to do is go execute against what they're looking for. And we provide a structure to allow all of that, which fits into the next piece of the puzzle here, which is our greatest asset, which is our people. And I'm gonna give you just a real brief overview of my career here at Fidelity in just a second, and Mike is as well. But our people focus on people rather is really broken down into a few different places. One, our training. We have in-branch training, we have regional training, we have in-person training, we have virtual training. We are going to help you in every aspect of your business. Whether it be interaction skills, whether it be financial planning skills, whether it be product or solution skills, client interaction skills. We say this with great pride. We will not allow you to fail at Fidelity. You will not fail due to lack of support at Fidelity. In our office here in Providence, we have a full-time coach that literally works in this office every day, works with the 28 folks in this office on their skills and skill building every minute of every day right here in the office. I'm going to talk a little bit about career, but I think I'll use mine as maybe the example there. I've been with Fidelity for 25 years. I've had a number of different roles. I'd love to be able to tell you that I did a whole bunch of research when I was younger and found that Fidelity was the company I wanted to work for. It's simply not the case. I went to Fidelity because it was a great local company that would hire me, so I went there. The reason I've stayed, however, is completely different. It's the people, it's the culture, it's the support, it's everything that Fidelity is has made me stay. I've never for 1 minute felt like I've had to sell anything. I've never felt like I had to appease somebody with something that I didn't believe in. That's the reason I've stayed for so long. It had nothing to do with all the great benefits and all the great support, again, which we'll get into in a minute. But, a little bit of a risk of not knowing anybody on the call, but I think the truest testament of my incredible passion for Fidelity lies in my daughter, who recently graduated from college about 1.5 years ago, went to a pretty good school, had a pretty good GPA, had a bunch of different opportunities, and made her conscious decision to come to Fidelity, and has stayed here since, and shows no signs of leaving because it's such a great firm that is supporting her in a culture the same way that it supported me for all these years. Now, that's my story. 25 years, a whole bunch of different roles, lots of great mentors. I could spend an hour podcast or video chat just on this topic alone. I've got incredible passion around our people and our culture, but that's my story. Mike Esposito is one of the other managers in the office here. His story is completely different, and we thought it would be good for folks on this call maybe to hear from somebody who has a completely different experience, just so you can see the contrast, and Mike can talk a little bit about his journey at Fidelity. So, Mike, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Thanks so much, Steve, and good afternoon, everybody. So Mike Esposito, since joining Fidelity about 1 year ago, everything that Steve just touched on as it pertains to the people that are here, the firm's ability to be innovative, and the focus on things like planning had come through in actuality. And, throughout the course of my career in various different roles and various different firms, I've worked at UBS, Merrill, and TDA, to name a few. One of the things that have always stood out to me is Fidelity's ability to be innovative and capture the attention of evaluators like Barron's and Corporate Insights. And I've always been intrigued and impressed by Fidelity's ability to do that, as well as the people I've come across throughout the course of my career. And being here in New England, I just wanted to join a firm that I knew was going to take care of its clients. It was client obsessed, and it came through with the technology that it offers its people to be set up for success in your careers, as well as the tools and resources that it delivers to its clients. It's enamored me with the absolute support and resources for me to also develop in my career here too as well. It's just been phenomenal. The focus on clients, the focus on people, and the focus on technology have been the three main reasons why I've joined the firm here, and I've been enjoying it ever since. And with that, Steve, I'll kick it back to you.
Thanks, Mike. So folks, hopefully a little bit of a show that longtime tenured folks like myself, newer folks equally successful at Fidelity due to the great support that we provide. We do have a completely different business model. So I want to switch gears a little bit, move a little bit away from the big Fidelity, the 50,000 person firm across all the entire globe, and talk a little bit about the differentiated business model that we have for our advisors in particular. And Callie, if you could just move to that next slide, that'd be great. We have a differentiated business model, and what I mean by that is we have an existing client base, and what we call institutional feeders. So those are our 401k record keepers, 403b record keepers. It's unmatched in our industry. Okay, our model and scale allow us to hand an advisor a book of clients, typically in the 400 to 500 household range, average assets over $500,000. We don't, as you can see, we took it out of the slide, I apologize. We don't do a lot of cold calling. We don't do a lot of knocking on doors. We are built on our existing client base. And as you can see here, very proud, 1 in 4 Americans actually has an account with Fidelity. The next thing that differentiates our business model or part of the Fidelity advantage is our opportunity alignment. We have strategically aligned our business to the vast opportunity which exists in today's unique marketplace. We've developed agile initiatives to innovate and capture these opportunities. And simply put, we have more opportunity than almost any of our competitors. More workplace opportunity, more pre-retirees, more retirees. In fact, we have over 5.5 million pre-retiree and retiree households on our platform to date. We have well over 1 million what we call high net worth households, 5.4 million women investors, millennials. We have workplace participants. All across the platform, all designed for you and your practice to take advantage of our huge scale. And as again, you can see on the slide, 28 million individual investors, 6.9 trillion in client assets and managed accounts, all built and designed around you as an advisor. And finally, our stability. Our model provides clients to work with, allows our advisors to do what they do best. Build deep relationships, focus on planning, focus on complex and comprehensive needs of our clients, and really allow us to put our clients first. And as a testament to the stability, the model, and the practice that we put in place, you can see the bullet there. The average tenures of our VPFCs, so that's our senior advisors, is over 12 years, which is just a testament to the firm that folks are working at. If you can switch to the next slide, Callie, that'd be great. So what do you as an advisor asked to do? Really work with clients. It's that simple. We want folks to build comprehensive plans. We want our clients to know what they have and why they have it, and it fits across all of the different aspects of financial planning, whether it be investment strategy conversations, retirement planning, income protection, asset protection, family existence, and assistance. You can see all the bullets there. We dip our toe into just about everything on our proprietary platform. And for the things that we don't offer, we probably have a third-party relationship with somebody that does. There's almost nothing we can't offer our clients on our platform, on our record-keeping platform where the clients can see. And as you can see along the bottom, we build our business organically. We build it through referrals. We build it through internal lead generation. We have lots of people walking in just because we have these big, beautiful offices all over the country. We do support local events and workshops that we'll never ask you to pay for. We'll never ask you to build them or participate in constructing them. We did one 2 nights ago at a local hotel with, we did a socially responsible investing seminar, a nice plated dinner, 3 speakers from the outside, and all we asked the advisors to do was call out to the proper clients and have them attend. That's your only role in that, and we do that on behalf of the firm and our client base 3 or 4 or 5 times a year in this branch. And again, probably an important piece, says it on the slide, no cold calling. I think that usually gets a quiet round of applause on some of these calls. So with that, Callie, if you wouldn't mind kicking over to the next slide. So with these seminars or these types of conversations, we're never sure who's gonna sign up. So we thought this slide was worth adding. We have a spot for you no matter where you are in your career. Whether you are just starting out, recent college graduate, maybe you've done a year or 2 at one of the many, many financial firms around the Providence area, and you want to get your foot in the door and you just want to come to work for Fidelity, we call that our financial representative. May or may not be licensed, but we'll get you your license. We'll help you get through that. We've got relationship management roles, planning consultant roles, which is a little bit deeper of a role where you're a relationship manager, but you're doing planning as well. Our wealth management roles include investment consultant, financial consultant. We've got wealth planners, vice president financial consultants. Again, wherever you are in your career, we want to meet you at that place. Even if you decided maybe coaching and mentoring is something that you're passionate about. We have our regional planning consultants. Again, I referenced that role earlier. That's somebody here in the branch that provides coaching on a continual basis. The assistant branch manager role, the vice president branch manager role. Anywhere you are in your career, we've probably got a role for you and a role for you to consider. So please do. Callie, if you wouldn't mind the next slide there would be great. I love this slide for a number of reasons. I'm probably going to linger here a little longer than I normally would. It's got a lot of words on it. I would actually prefer to just speak to the 3 pictures. I think they tell a great story. The bottom left is one of our conference rooms, and there's a couple of nuances there that I'd like to draw your attention to. It kind of shows a typical sales meeting. But what it doesn't show you is that at Fidelity, everyone in the office can be successful. We have a compensation structure that allows everyone to be successful. So you are not kind of cause somebody else to lose so you can win. And so we have incredible collaboration. We have incredible best practice sharing. People will shadow each other's appointments. They'll offer advice and guidance because everybody wants everyone else to be successful here in the office. There is no downside to working with a peer, helping a colleague. In fact, I would actually argue provides a better working environment when everybody can collaborate. The second nuance I would like to point you to in that bottom left picture is that on the screen, there's a gentleman in a blue shirt, probably working from home, dialed into the meeting, participating even though he's not in the room, and I'll get to that in just a second when I speak to the bottom right picture. But again, Fidelity's dedication to innovation and dedication to technology allows people to work where they need to work on a given day and still participate, still be an active member of the team in that picture there. The middle picture on the top again. That's one of our what we'd call next generation investor centers. So we never stop innovating, even with our brick and mortar buildings, always looking for that next what's going to help the clients the most. And so our building is even constantly under construction to make it the best client experience we can possibly offer, based on endless research, endless discussions with clients about what they need, what they want, how they want it, where they want it, what it would look like, and we just continue to evolve. The bottom right picture, however, this may be the most impactful one on the slide. What that probably looks like to a lot of people is maybe a client. That's actually an advisor working from home. We have what we call a work from anywhere initiative. It's all built around something called a results-only work environment. But the basic premise of it is that The only thing that matters is how many clients you're helping and how deeply you're helping them. The hours you work don't matter. The in the branch versus virtual don't matter. Your client's success at the end of the day is the only thing that matters. And the great irony of that picture is it's actually outdated already, because that advisor is working with her cell phone on her laptop. We now offer what we call a work from home bundle that includes a screen, Apple earbuds, a wireless keyboard, wireless mouse, all designed to ensure that when you do work from anywhere, you can provide the absolute best client experience possible in a way that makes you as an associate comfortable and confident and proud, and make you feel like you're not missing anything by taking advantage of our work from anywhere initiative. That I wouldn't even call it initiative, just our structure and our current thinking around engagement with our associates. So hopefully there'll be a couple of questions about that. Lastly, and again, I hope we didn't rush through this too quickly, but we did want to kind of keep it high level and again, hopefully get to the Q&A. So Callie, if you wouldn't mind taking me to the next slide here. I'll talk a little bit about compensation in general, and then just hit a little bit on some of these high bullets. And then I would like to kick it over to Dom Calamati after that, just to maybe add a little commentary or a little context. Dom's been here for longer than I have as a leader in the channel, and it has some interesting perspective. But in general, around our compensation, we offer a variety of bonus and incentive programs as part of our total pay package. In order to recognize associate achievement. Eligible associates have the opportunity to earn a bonus based on performance and specific accomplishments. Higher performing associates can actually be involved in what we call our internal share program. So I mentioned earlier that we're a privately held company. We do have a similar to what you might get at a public company, an internal share program that you can potentially participate in based on your performance and longevity at the firm. In general, compensation is never going to not be a reason to work at Fidelity. That's the bottom line. And as you can see from the wheel here, we offer tremendous benefits outside of an incredibly competitive compensation program as dollars and cents. Retirement savings. We have a profit sharing plan that pays eligible associates 10% a year of their eligible compensation. 7% company match on 401k plan. Paid time off, as you can see there, first year at Fidelity, 31 days, which includes your holidays, your PTO days, which include both vacation, sick time, et cetera. We offer student loan forgiveness programs. We've got incredible wellness programs here at the firm. Anything I think you could want, need, or ask for, we probably have it here somewhere in our benefits umbrella. And we do have a couple of folks on the call again that could probably answer some more detailed questions if there are any around our benefits or our compensation package. But before we do Q&A, I did want to give Mr. Dom Calamati just a moment to address the folks on the call. Dom runs 5 branches, Framingham, Mass, all the way up through Albany, New York, up to Portland, Maine, and down here to Providence. He also happens to be my boss, so I do have to give him a couple minutes on the call. So Dom, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Stephen. Thank you all for joining today. So just a little bit of the background for me, and I'm really looking forward to getting to the Q&A. I know we already got some questions that are coming in. I've grown up with the firm. This is my first job out of college, and I've worked as an advisor. Really saw the power of being able to help people in a more meaningful way that I think is really different than others in the industry, and I want to get to why, and we'll share that later. And then went down the management side of wanted to help our other advisors be able to scale that and help our clients in a more meaningful way. So I am here as someone that I think, like Steve, once you're involved with Fidelity, you don't want to go anywhere else. You'll see that a lot, and we're delighted, Mike, as he shared his story, that we're always looking for new people that want to be the best, that want to really help our clients. And so I'm eager to have a really good conversation. And before we go, Allie and Steph, did you all want to also just kind of share anything about your background? I know you all are here, and you also are going to be interacting with a lot of folks.
Yeah, I'm happy to start off, Steph. Again, my name's Callie Cody. I have talked to a few of you probably, and I am a recruiter with Fidelity. I started off in branches as a financial representative, so as that first entry-level role. Got licensed and really developed with the branches, became a senior relationship manager, so supported quite a few advisors and actually got recruited over to the recruiting team. So the great thing about Fidelity is we're looking for good people. We just want good relationship people, and once you're here, there's so many opportunities, so it's just a really wonderful place to be.
Thank you, Callie. Hi, everyone. I'm Stefanie Edson, and I have a little bit of a similar background to Callie, but I started with Fidelity just over 7 years ago now, right out of college into a financial representative position within our investor centers, and grew into the investor center roles, into the relationship manager position as well. And recently, within the last couple of years, have joined our staffing team in the talent acquisition consultant position. So really using my knowledge of the investor centers to talk with candidates about how great Fidelity is to work for. So been a wonderful firm. I haven't thought about leaving since the day I joined, like I said, 7.5 years ago. And thank you all for your time in joining us today.
So Callie, with that, I think that probably brings us to the Q&A. Is that right?
All right. Hey, thanks, Steve, and everybody. Wonderful presentation. And this is David Testerman again with Broker Hunter. And we're going to go ahead and get on the last slide here real quick and jump into the Q&A. Before or as I'm doing the Q&A here and take the first question, I'm going to go ahead and launch the last poll here real quick for everybody. And if you can take a minute or so to fill that out, that will help us out tremendously. And then also, we're going to go through and take some questions down. We have a lot of them. So Steve, I'm going to ask this one for you, and you can pass it off to the appropriate person. How many new clients go through a full financial planning process, when they become a Fidelity client?
Our goal is for 100% of clients to go through a financial plan. That is the basis of everything we do. We actually have clients tell us that they're surprised when they come in for the first time at how quote unquote little they get done, because we spend so much time getting to know them, getting to know what's important to them, really building out and getting underneath what's important to them, what they think their plan looks like for retirement. And way before we move to any kind of solution conversation or product solution, we are based in planning. The plan is the basis for everything we do. Our goal is 100%. That said, we have lots of clients who are self-directed. We will offer the plan. They will say something like, no, I've been doing this for a long time, I'm comfortable with it. And we will certainly provide them with the support, the website tools, the resources they need to be successful. But our goal is for the folks that engage with us here in the branch, 100% have a plan on file. People know what they have, why they have it, and update that plan on an annual basis with their financial consultant.
Very good. That's great.
Steve, if I can
Here.
Just to add on that, we do have, as Steve mentioned, a tremendous amount of clients that are relying on us, and the tenant fidelity is really large in the sense of we have people that are self-directed. We have people that are validators. They want an extra set of eyes on some different investment decisions they're making. And we also have people that are delegators. They need more help from us. So the level of depth on the financial planning process might vary. For some people that are right at retirement and need to really figure out how to generate income, as opposed to there's still a foundational context that people in their 30s or 40s might need that might look different. So we also cater to the level of depth that's needed. But we do believe that a consistent experience, whether it's you go to a Fidelity office in Portland, Maine, or if you go to a Fidelity office in Santa Monica, California, you're going to get the same consistent themes and thoughts and experience, with the subjectivity being a little different based on what the advisor uniquely brings to the table. We just have high standards of that. Every client needs to get planning experience to Steve's point.
Very good. Thanks so much. That's a good answers. All right. So here's another one. We get a lot of questions like this. What does prospecting and lead flow look like? I know that a lot of times at Fidelity that you guys say there's no cold calling. And I know Fidelity gets a tremendous amount of new accounts and households. what does that look like for an individual financial consultant? You know, how are accounts distributed? What kind of lead flow do they expect? I know that's very general, but
yeah. So I'll take this one, and then Mike or Dom can, well, anybody can jump in at the end. But we've got a number of different ways to build your practice here at Fidelity, and some of them are an advisor might leave, they have a different opportunity, somebody might retire, and we will take those clients and introduce them to a new advisor, and you may get clients that way. We also have a number of advisors, as we refer to as building a book. The difference with Fidelity, however, is we're not going to ever ask you to just take a phone book and start dialing or reach out to family and loved ones or clients from your past job. Anybody that we're going to ask you to call is already an existing Fidelity client somewhere in the system, and the call is to reach out to ask if it's time for them to come in and work on a financial plan and to put that plan together. I think that's the big differentiator with Fidelity. And I talked a little bit earlier about our differentiated business model. That's where the power of our institutional clients, the power of the 23+ million accounts that we have more clients today than we're able to service with the advisor population that we have, which means we have more people that need our help than we can get to. Our job is to then find those folks, invite them in for a plan, and create that relationship from the ground up. So it's not a cold call. It's more of a you're already here, but you haven't talked to us. It's now time to speak to us call. And Mike or Dom, if you want to, add to that, that's great.
No problem, Steve. I think just an easy way to look at it is we have an embarrassment of riches. So we have over 22 million customers at Fidelity. Like over the total retail market space is over $26 trillion externally out there. 22 trillion of that has a relationship with Fidelity. So our job is we want you just to call our existing customers that we aren't getting to. We got over 10,000. We're the largest 401k provider currently by a wide margin. We're number 2 on the 403B side. You got over 10,000 baby boomers retiring every single day. So they're calling us saying, I need to get help, I need to get assistance. We believe anyone that has a certain amount of money deserves a relationship as well, because there's a different level of complex planning that people need. So we have clients to call. We need people here to engage them in a meaningful way.
That's right. And just to build off of that, I mean, we're servicing clients of all different types, genres, if you will, women investors, millennial households, folks in a workplace, to Dom's point, with the 403B and the 401k space, are pre-retirees and retirees as well. So just an abundance of opportunity here, team and gang.
Yeah, I think that's powerful, especially for the folks listening today on the call, that you have more clients than your existing advisor population can get to. That's not a problem anywhere else, I don't think, or usually. So that's great. Did you guys have anything else to add, or I'll jump to the next question? Good. Okay. All right, here's a good one here. Here is a caller or an audience member today that says they live a little too far to commute to Providence. They're in Concord, New Hampshire. But they would love to find out more about telecommuting, and would somebody that lives maybe a little far for a daily commute be able to find a role potentially within Fidelity? Steve or Dom?
Dom, you want to take that from a Providence, or you want to take it from a regional perspective? Because it's a couple different ways we can go.
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, so we want to have, I think to the person's point, we have over 200 different offices. So in New Hampshire alone, we have an office in Nashville, New Hampshire. We have a major regional center in Merrimack, New Hampshire. We're also looking at opening other offices in that area. So we try getting you located in the area that's going to be so that you're able to go into the office. Clients still do want to meet face-to-face, but the flexibility of being able to work from home is then you also being able to use virtual and other ways of being able to do that. So we can get you a position to talk to some folks that are more in that area and different opportunities there.
And Dom, I'd just like to come over the top, because I think that's where I was hoping you would go. The one thing I would like to just mention to anybody else that's listening, though, If you are in what I would refer to as the greater Providence area and maybe commuting into Providence 5 days a week is maybe a little daunting, we do have options where we have a gentleman in our office who lives about an hour and a half from the office. He right down by Mystic, Connecticut, actually. He works out of his home office 3 days a week, and he is hyper-focused on growing Fidelity's footprint in that territory. It's part of our Providence territory that we haven't really been able to get a lot of traction with, because in our old model, when clients had to come to the office, people didn't want to drive an hour and a half once a year to have an appointment. So with Fidelity's technology and initiatives and being creative and innovative, we now have an advisor who is able to be in that market, be local. He will do appointments at folks' houses. He can rent space at a local hotel in a conference room for people that aren't comfortable having him at his house. He may do an appointment at a Starbucks or a McDonald's, but we are extremely creative. So don't let geography, whether it be 200 miles and the opportunity might be in a different office, or 100 miles, and we might be able to get creative about an opportunity in the Providence area that isn't what you would typically consider a commuting distance to the Providence office.
That's great. Sounds like a lot of options there, and be good to have a conversation with you all about that. It sounds like for sure. Let's talk a little bit, kind of circle back here. What does training look like? I guess, what does the training phase look like for both brand new unlicensed people, as well as, what kind of training would somebody receive that's, let's say they're coming over from a more traditional broker dealer environment when they join?
Callie, Stefanie, either are all happy to take it. I just didn't know if you had a better perspective, or I can start and you can jump on whatever's good for you folks.
Yeah, I think, Steve, if you can take that one, I'm sure you know the training programs in a little more detail than we would. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So we'll start with the second one that you asked around unlicensed. We hire unlicensed folks into our financial representative role. I don't say all the time, but fairly often. We provide a training time in your day, up to 4 hours a day to study. We offer what we call a cohort of training, which is other unlicensed folks from around the region or country, depending on how many there are, get together virtually to exchange study habits, best practices. It's all paid for by Fidelity. We use either Pass Perfect or Kaplan, whichever you prefer. We pay for your licensing, we pay for you to sit for the test, and we give you the time to study for it. So don't let licensing ever prevent you from reaching out. For the more tenured folks that are probably already licensed, maybe been in the industry for a while, maybe even at the same firm for a while, that are comfortable in the environment that they're in and are considering a move, we offer an equally robust training, whether it be literally getting on a plane for a week and heading down to Westlake, Texas to do training. We've got 3 different training modules that we offer in person somewhere across the country in your first couple of months. We have a field training director who keeps you on track, keeps you on tabs with your training, with your from your product, service, and skill building. We've got our regional planning consultant who's in the office here in the branch, 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day, coaching. Myself and Mike spend considerable time in appointments, coaching, helping, learning. We've got peer-to-peer learning opportunities here in the branch. Again, everybody can be successful. We don't have a closed compensation system where I get a pool of 100%, and for Associate A to be successful, I've got to take away from Associate B. That's not how Fidelity builds its compensation structure. It's built that everybody can be successful based on their own merit. So I said it before, I'll say it again. We will not let you fail due to lack of training at Fidelity. That is absolutely not an option.
That's great. Another question here. This looks like probably from somebody that is an existing advisor right now and already has a book of business, but this is a three-part question here. Does Fidelity have dollar minimums for opening up accounts? That's question 1. What does an ideal client look like for Fidelity? It's question 2. And then the final part to this is, can they bring their existing client, if they were to join Fidelity, who have stocks, bonds, mutual funds, some alternative investments, but something that you guys can support if they had clients that were in those?
Yeah, I'll start, and anybody can jump in. Minimum to open an account, I guess a penny, I guess technically zero. I think you can open an account. We may have I'm testing my knowledge here. We may have an account registration somewhere that still has a minimum, but for the most part, we've removed all barriers to being a Fidelity client and working with us. We've eliminated all those barriers. As far as the last part of the question, bringing clients with you, I would say that's all part of the broker-dealer arrangements that we have with other firms. We are not going to put it this way, we're not going to ask you or hire you based on a commitment to bring X amount of clients or X amount of assets with you. If you have some long-standing, deep relationships with clients and they want to follow you here as their advisor, that's up to the client. But we're not going to ever ask you as an advisor to commit a certain percentage of your existing practice or of your book. That's not how we do business. As far as the ideal client, I love that question. Could take it in a couple of million different ways. So I think the right way to answer it is what our typical client maybe looks like, or what we do the most of might be an easier way to say it. We are primarily a retirement planning shop. And so our typical client is pre-retiree, maybe within 5 years to retirement, to been in retirement for a few years, worked really hard during the course of their lifetime to amass some form of a 401k plan, or whether it be IRAs or a pension and some Social Security. And our job is to really help ensure that those folks have a really solid both asset allocation and investment plan that allows them the retirement that they want. That's, I would say, is our bread and butter. Do we have 40, 50, 60, $70 million clients on our platform? Absolutely. Do we have a 22-year-old daughter, son of an existing client that maybe just wants to open their first IRA because they got their first job? Absolutely. We cater to everyone. There isn't a person we can't help. I would say our kind of standard bread and butter is pre-retiree and retiree, really helping folks build out a solid plan to ensure their success based on what they want and what their success looks like. I hope that answers the question.
That does. That's very good. And I had another quick question, because I've gotten this before from other candidates as well. Do you guys assist with or work with clients as part of the financial planning process with any insurance product, or make any recommendations there?
Yeah, so we have a full suite of income producing products, including annuities. We don't do variable annuities, we don't do variable index annuities, but whether it be guaranteed income annuities, deferred income annuities, we've got different products that we have step-ups and that you can annuitize at a different time or date. We do a lot of single premium deferred annuities, where people are just looking for a little bit more yield than maybe they could get from a money market or a government security that allows them, 10% access to their money every year. So, yeah, we firmly believe that there is a place in the majority of portfolios for either guaranteed or protected assets, and offer a suite of products to fit that need, based, again, specifically on client by client, need by need, on a need by need basis.
Very good. Thank you. That's certainly helpful.
Hey, David, just to clarify on that too, just first of all, Steve, I think just in case anyone misinterpreted, so we do offer variable annuities here at Fidelity, and I think it's just time just to pause and just understand how Fidelity differentiates here, and also just on our total offering. So you're talking about a firm that, when we say we believe every dollar a client has should be at Fidelity, we can back that up. Our money markets, for example, there's no inconvenient truths with us. We don't play the cash sweep game where clients are having their money investing in a 0.001 cash money account. We pay you the highest paying money market account as a default. And it's just one of those simple premises that gets back to Steve's point of doing what's right for the customer. And we think there's a balance that everyone can win on that side. So if at Fidelity, we're not paying a customer the interest that they could be making, and where's that interest going? And at a lot of firms, we're putting the spotlight on the fact that clients are getting taken advantage of, whether it's over client ignorance or indifference. And that's one where in all these different solutions and services that we offer, it's drastically different. For example, on the variable annuity, the average cost is 1.4% mortality and expense. Right? At Fidelity, it's 0.25. So when you're actually making a recommendation, if someone needs tax deferral, they came into some money, then they want to defer this, then you're using this product for tax deferral. If you have $1 million, it's 0.1. So you're not playing the game of, I need to convince a client that they need to do this. We allow you to really do what's right for customers and know that the solutions that you're offering are as vetted and very customer-centric based on customer need or customer demand. So it's very different than others in the marketplace. And as you all think about your future, if you want to be in the advising world, what's the firm that you want to work with? On the side of the customer, or that you have these inconvenient truths? And I would just think more critically about that.
Right. That's great additional information there. Going to jump over to another question here. Can you talk a little bit about kind of another little two-parter, ongoing coaching and training that you provide for your advisors and staff there, and then also, what does a career path look like for someone that maybe wanted to eventually get into branch leadership or some other type of a role within Fidelity?
Yeah,
Go
I was going
ahead.
to say, I'll take that. So just to build off of the resources that Steve was mentioning before, the on-site support in the investor centers, you do get partnered up with, a regional planning consultant that's able to ensure that you're continuously honing your client interaction skills. And ultimately, your success is going to be dependent on what your aspirations are. So it's partnering up with the resources that we do have here at Fidelity. And if it's the leadership path that you want to take, like Dom did from the advisor role, that's available. It's just leveraging the technology and the human capital available that, puts you in a place to succeed based off of what your wishes are. That's how I would answer that question.
And hey, Mike, a great part of it is what I love about Fidelity too. Is it's all objective. It's meritocracy here. We don't play the game of kind of who's been here the longest. There's no surprises. We want to really see your best contributions, because the better you are, the better you're going to be for the clients. And we're all in this together. So in terms of advancement, promotions, it's saying, here are the strengths, here's the areas that can really help you be more significant to customers. And it's meritocracy.
That's great. On the financial advisor or the FC role, let's take that as an example, and this could be a question for any of y'all. What's an expected week or a day look like for an advisor? Kind of what's their for lack of a better word, kind of their boogie number as far as activity is concerned for a financial advisor at Fidelity? Do you guys base it on calls, meetings, financial plans? I guess maybe tell us a little bit about how you're judged. While you're
I can see me, Mike, and Dom all trying to jump in at the same time, because I know it's an area we have incredible passion around. But since I'm talking, I'm just going to keep going until somebody cuts me off. We want advisors doing what they do best, which is helping individuals and families build comprehensive plans that help them meet their objectives. At the end of the day, that's what we want our advisors doing, and we ask and expect folks to do that 3 to 4 times a day, giving them all the resources to do it. The main metrics that we track are the number of in-person appointments you have, whether it be here in the branch or on the phone, whether it be using technology or literally in the office. How many plans do you have on file with those clients? That's how passionate about planning we are. That's probably the second metric that we care about. Third would be, are you building your practice through whether it be referrals or TOAs? And we don't look, I want to be very deliberate about this. we don't look at those metrics as that's assets coming to Fidelity and therefore we get to make more money. We look at that as votes from our customers that we're helping them better than anybody else is. And so if clients are referring, if clients are consolidating their assets with us, it makes us better advisors. It makes their plan better because we have full transparency into everything they have. And we want them telling their friends, family, neighbors about us and referring them because we did such a great job with them. So that's the reason we look at referrals and TOAs. We don't look at it as we need more assets, go get TOAs. We look at it as client votes of confidence for us that they want to do business with us. Are the product metrics important? They absolutely are. But again, because that's clients voting with their dollars to say, I've got a plan in place. The advisor took the time to explain to me exactly what I need, why I need it, and my vote of confidence is I'm then going to go move my incredibly hard-earned assets into one of the Fidelity products or solutions in a very deliberate way to help me meet the goals and objectives of my plan. It is all about the plan and the implementation of the plan. And then we track our clients, what we call a loyalty score. We actually reach out to them and ask them how we did. And part of the variable compensation is based on how well you interacted with your client. And so it's all built around the client. It's all built around activity, but it's built in a way that we want you spending your time doing what you do best, which is interacting with our clients. We've got support systems that can help make appointments for you, can return phone calls for you, can return emails for you. It's all about letting advisors do what they do best, which is working with clients to build a plan, execute the plan, and keep the plan on track.
Very good. That's great. So that's a pretty good general overview of kind of how what your objectives are as an advisor. That's going to segue into the next question here that I know is always answered is, can you talk a little bit, and we can keep it pretty general, but about your advisor compensation? How does that look? You know, I know it's tied back to some of these performance metrics we just talked about. But I know that it's so much different than the rest of the industry and what somebody may be working at a regional or a wirehouse or came to the industry in another channel. So I guess if you could touch on that a little bit, that would be great.
Yeah, David, I'd be happy to take that one. So we're basing everything on Fidelity. We take a lot of pride. It's based on complexity of time and complexity of sale. And this has been called out by regulators of the Department of Labor changes and FINRA of saying that's the model we want more of our firms to try getting to. And if you look about how it aligns to the Certified Financial Planners Board and process, you'll see it aligns. So we really want to see that if someone's coming in saying, hey, I need a fixed rate of return, right? And after you get to know them, you do planning with them, that can be a relatively easy conversation if it's a CD, for example. But if you're going to be having a much more complex discussion about an irrevocable life insurance trust, that's going to take a lot more time, and that's where we reward people of complexity of time, complexity of sale. The transparency piece, again, though, anyone wants to go online and see exactly how our associates are paid, it's right there for all of our customers to see. So there's nothing that we're running from, and that's always, I think to get back to Steve's point, it's let's make sure we're having substantive conversations with our clients. You do planning with them, and then we work to implement a plan, whether that's Fidelity products or not. It's how can we make sure personalize and customize the financial plan around what we know is important to this person and the analytics say. And that's how we make prudent investment solutions. And that's the win-win for everyone involved.
Okay, very good. So that's something that certainly a Fidelity recruiter and then subsequently the managers can have a conversation with you and get a little more specific there. But I think that gives a good general overview of that. But we've got time here for a couple more questions. So I'm going to, we got a few. Okay, one of them I can answer. We have somebody here from New Jersey saying they think they're on the wrong webinar. You're actually not in the wrong webinar. This is a great webinar for you. However, we will be hosting a webinar specifically for opportunities in New Jersey in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And we'll make sure we get you out an invitation for that. And that's coming in late March. Real quick, what opportunities are open right now in Providence for the folks out here?
Yes, we have two opportunities right now. We have one, which is our what we refer to as our Financial Consultant One program, which is a great program that Fidelity started. It allows folks in our industry to come to work for Fidelity in the financial planning capacity without having to kind of hit the first day your feet running. So we offer we could do a whole 15, 20 minutes on this, but essentially it's a program that allows a time to ramp up and learn the Fidelity culture, the Fidelity products, the Fidelity services without having to worry about a variable compensation target to try to hit. And so it allows someone to make the switch from another firm, or maybe even a different type of role where maybe you're not a financial advisor today, but maybe more in our industry, acting maybe as a relationship manager or something like that, where you think being a financial consultant is something you're interested in, but you just don't have the right skill set or the right product set yet, or don't have the Fidelity culture. We allow you a little bit of time to ramp up to that. We also have an investment consultant position open here in the Providence office, a little bit of a different position, definitely a planning role, but it is a little bit more of a transactional role where folks need point-in-time help. We help them point in time. It's not a relationship model. It is a help me pick some funds, help me open a new account, help me put a plan together for sure, but it wouldn't result in sort of a lifetime one-to-one personal relationship. That's when you get to the financial consultant, vice president, financial consultant, wealth planner. We actually ask you to create a relationship with the family. Your name's on their statement. They are your client for Fidelity, and that investment consultant is sort of the one role before you would be what's commonly referred to as build a book of business or a book of clients.
Right, and just to build on that, Steve, that role actually allows a lot of folks who are looking to get into Fidelity in a planning capacity of some sort. You're going to see a lot of clients, and it exposes you to Fidelity's approach, concepts, appointment flow, products and solutions, and sets you up for success for those financial consultant and VP financial consultant roles along the way. So first off, it's a great role to ensure that all our clients are getting the help that they need, but it's also a great role for folks who are aspiring financial advisors looking to make being a financial advisor a lifelong career at a great place like Fidelity.
That's great. Thank you very much.
One comment as well on that, just from a firm side, I think it's really important for people to realize that we are doubling the staffing in the branches over the next 5 years. So we have over 2,000 associates. We're going to over 4,000. So there's going to be a tremendous amount of opportunity because, as again, we talked about wanting to serve those clients that we have. And, you know, right now we're not able to get to all of them. So there is going to be a lot more opportunities coming. And I think if this is someone people are looking for, where do I want to grow my career at? We're not hiring an investment consultant, right? We want the best financial consultants and people that are striving to get to what Mike was referring to.
Very good.
That's an unbelievable place to be, with the firm's investments and resources all saying, we want to be unequivocally the best in this space, and we don't think that clients should go anywhere else besides Fidelity with the offering that we have.
Yeah, that's incredible forecasted growth, looking to basically double your head count there in the branches over the next 5 years. That's great. So this is going to segue into the final question, and somebody asked this, and I swear they planted this, but no, I think somebody from the audience says, what does success look like at Fidelity? Isn't that a great closing question? So I'll let anybody take that would want.
I'll maybe get opinions. Great success at Fidelity is leaving at the end of the day, knowing that you made an impact in the lives of the people that you had a chance to interact with and to work with, and allows you to go home at night sleeping knowing you did it with the utmost of integrity, and can sleep at night knowing that you'll never be asked to do something that doesn't align with your personal value system, or ask you to work with or interact with a client in a way that in any way, shape, or form would ever make you question your ethics or your value system, and do it with the incredible resources of Fidelity to back you and ensure that you're successful. Maybe not exactly the right answer, but I think that's how I go home every day.
Yeah, well, listen, I've been blessed to be able to work with Steve for the last year, and as you all know and heard, I joined Fidelity a short while ago. But for me, success looks like being able to master your role, work hard, doing what's right for clients and the company, of course. Long-term success, though, is different. It all depends, and I think I touched on this earlier before, on what your ultimate goals and aspirations are. However, at Fidelity, you're able to leverage an abundance of tools, support, and technology to have you set up for success. Me, personally, hope to be sitting in Dom and Steve's chair someday where I can say, I'm a Fidelity lifer, have family working at the company just because of the culture that I've been blessed to be able to be a part of. And so, being able to grow your career in the ways you intended to grow your career, for me, that's what success looks like.
That's great.
And Dave, I would just say I think a lot of us, we want people that really believe financial planning helps clients, and that good, thoughtful financial planning can really change people's lives. And I think about all the stresses that everyone is going to go through in their lives, or maybe many people are already gone through, right? There's financial stress, there's emotional stress. There's a lot tied to people's investments and the dreams they're set up for. And we got an opportunity to really connect and understand people. And at Fidelity, it's think of the name. It's a faithfulness to a cause. It's the cause of the customer. And I'd leave you with saying, we want you to be terrific to our clients and help them eliminate that financial stress by taking them through our planning process. And by being terrific to our customers and giving them terrific outcomes, you will have terrific success at Fidelity. So that's where there's such a great opportunity here for people that have that strong desire to want to be meaningful to our clients.
That's great. Thanks so much. And that's a perfect timing and a great question to end on. So we've taken the full hour here. I'd like to thank all of you guys today. Wonderful presentation. One thing we've seen across all of these is just that Fidelity has a very infectious enthusiasm about the firm and the planning process and their clients, most importantly. For each of you on the call today, this is recorded, and we're going to be sending out a link to the recording after the live event. You should get it, I think it goes out tomorrow, but we'll get that out to you, as well as instructions for next steps. Should you be interested in talking further with Fidelity, we appreciate analyst time today. Thank you for the rest of the Fidelity team for putting together a great presentation. And we'd like to thank all the audience today for taking the time out of your busy day to visit with the Fidelity team. Thanks so much, and hope everybody has a great rest of the week. And this concludes today's webinar. Thanks.
Thank you all. Look forward to hearing from you.
You bet.